The graph of the cubic function f of x is ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d is shown below. A turning point is located at 1, 0, and the shaded region shown has an area of 3/2 square units. We can also see there's an inflection point just there. So let's look at what information we can get here. Well, first of all, we know it goes through 1, 0. So when x is 1, f of x is 0, substituting x is 1 in here, gives me a plus b plus c plus d is equal to 0. Let's call that 1. Now let's think about the fact that's a turning point. So f dashed x is 3ax squared plus 2bx plus c. So f dashed of 1 is 0 because there's a turning point there. So substitute x is 1 and we get 3a plus 2b plus c is 0. And let's call that 2. Now we know there's an inflection point just here. So if we differentiate again, f double dashed x is going to be 6ax plus 2b. And this is at 0, so d2y dx squared must be 0 at that point. So that means substituting x equals 0 in here, we get 2b equals 0, which tells us that b is 0. So we've now found the value of b. And we can use that to update 1 and 2. So that 1 would become a plus c plus d equals 0. And 2 would become 3a plus c is equal to 0. Let's see what information we can get from the area. So the integral from 0 to 1 of ax cubed, we know b is 0 now, plus cx plus d dx, we know that that's equal to 3/2. So that gives me ax to the 4/4 plus cx squared over 2 plus dx from 0 to 1 is 3/2. Now when we substitute 0 in there, we don't get anything. When we substitute 1 in, we get a/4 plus c/2 plus d is equal to 3/2. Multiplying through by 4 gives me a plus 2c plus 4d is equal to 6. So let's just call this 1 dash because it came from 1, 2 dashed there, and let's call this one equation 3. Okay. So if I do 4 times equation 1 dash, that gives me 4a plus 4c plus 4d is equal to 0. And 3 is a plus 2c plus 4d equals 6. So if we subtract there, we get 3a plus 2c is -6. And then 2 dashed is that 3a plus c equals 0. So if we subtract there, that gives me that c is equal to -6. Well, if c is -6, 2 dashed gives us that 3a equals 6, and therefore a is equal to 2. And so finally we could go into, say, 1 dashed, and we get 2 take away 6 plus d is equal to 0, which would give me that d is equal to 4